Seekers. I'm still using my mobile setup, so sorry we don't have all the super cool graphics going on, but that will be back in action pretty darn soon. It is Wednesday, 7/7, July 7th. It's 6:29 a.m. here in the Arizona desert, and once again, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. The theme for today is this: the truth is no longer hidden. Now people are hiding from the truth. You may have noticed the last 2 years, you either get it or you don't. One of the disappointing aspects of life for those that are aware, those that are awake, the truth seekers, the Bitcoin truth seekers, is that many of your family and friends aren't going to get it. But, well, that's the cost of wisdom, a bit of frustration and disappointment in humanity. Anyway, but for those that get it, here we are. And check this out. This is by Mark Moss. This is a great video he did. It's 30 minutes and 3 seconds long and definitely worth it. He breaks down the Great Reset quite well. If you want to know a step-by-step playbook of how the Georgia Guidestones will be implemented, it's right here. And he's actually speaking of how you can win, how you can protect your wealth, protect yourself during this time of Great Reset. Because let's face it, who is the administration of this country right now? It is the Great Reset. So, George Soros plans the next country to speculative attack. Well, you can guess which one that is. You may have noticed. Mark Moss goes over the playbook, historically how he's done it, and how he's doing it, and how to hedge your bets so that you come out on top. It's very, very good video. I can give you a hint that being a Bitcoin true seeker is how you can win in this game. You cannot help those that refuse to see it. At this point in time, it is a choice. You see the truth, you know it, you're aware of what's going on, you know the Great Reset is happening, and now here's a great breakdown of exactly how it's being implemented, and well, there you go. Get with it. I'm glad you're here, Bitcoin Truth Seekers, and let's stay sovereign. Let's create wealth during this time of ridiculous upheaval. And remember, for those that are getting their asses kicked by this, well, it's their choice. With that said, check this out. Bitcoin whales added 60K BTC in a day, starting historically profitable July. So while Bitcoin has been ranging between 30 and 40K, the whales have been buying. And this is great proof of that. So I know it's ranging sideways. That's kind of frustrating. I know they dumped it like 50% from 60K down to 30 so that they can accumulate. The whales are at a certain point going to let it go. And as you look here in this video by Mark Moss, Soros is buying Bitcoin, and part of that is part of his plan to, well, even protect himself from the US dollar, but also to help debase it, which is what he does. He's a destroyer of countries, basically, and America is in his sights now. So anyway, Bitcoin, good hedge against the coming Great Reset. And with that said, look at what the whales are doing. 60K Bitcoin in a day. Think about this. They'll only make about 900 a day. After the next halving, it will be like 400 a day Bitcoin. Right now, while Bitcoin is sideways, the whales are buying up the liquidity beyond comprehension. Even this evil piece of garbage right here, he's doing it too. So, it's a good, as Mark Moss says, you don't have to like Soros, but don't bet against him. He is unfortunately doing what the Bitcoin truth seekers are doing, and preserving his wealth. Of course, we're working on preserving our sovereignty and growing our wealth, where he's working on doing the same thing, but debasing the currency of countries and destroying humanity. So we're on the side of good here. He's on the side of bad, but just note, big money, and I won't belabor this anymore, big money is buying the crap out of Bitcoin right now. So once they let it go, once the whales let it go, have a plan. Have a plan for sideways, have a plan for further dump and ranging and accumulation, have a plan for when it goes like a rocket ship to Pluto. Have a plan, because the big money does. Even this slime trail leaving friggin' reptilian does. So with that said, have your plan. Looking at volume last 24 hours, spot trading volume on Binance down 17.38% last 24 hours. That's not inspiring, so we're not seeing a lot of trading versus USD versus USD, USDT, USDC, against BNB, against ETH, against Bitcoin. All the trading pairs basically are down in spot volume on Binance, and of course all the other exchanges will follow. And they are their volume is down too. And I'll mention Coinbase also; it's down 6.72%. Looking at Bitcoin explicitly, Bitcoin trading volume last 24 hours, 3 billion, 2 billion of that on Binance. That is no retail trading volume whatsoever. It does seem, what I'm seeing here is I think that we do have the Bitcoin mega whales are buying, and that's all OTC, or you could say under the counter trading. So we're not seeing that volume because it's the whale saying to the exchange, I want 10k of 10,000 Bitcoin, and the exchange goes, here you go, we'll send them to you. You send us the fiat, boom, it's done. We don't see that volume, but it is happening. Of course, there's ways to see it, and that's one of the things that I linked. It's over here at BitcoinDailyView.com. This right here, we can see it. I mean, ultimately, big wallets are accumulating, so it's basically financial institutions, etc. This evil piece of crap, etc., are basically buying it. So think like a whale. That's kind of Mark Moss's take here. If the mega whales, both benevolent and completely evil, are buying Bitcoin to preserve their wealth because fiat currency, especially the dollar, is failing, well, why bet against it? Preserve your sovereignty and what the big money is doing. And we really have profound truth right here that the whales are buying because they're keeping it ranged at between 30 and 40K. Willy Woo shows it right here. Big wallets are accumulating. So we know what's happening. And we can see right here about the Bitcoin trading volume, looking at the recent pump we had this morning, and now it's beginning to cool off. If that was retail buyers, we would see a lot more. We'd see 5, 10, 15, 20 billion in trading volume, and spot would be off the charts on Binance. I did notice last night, spot was up in the green, but definitely has trailed off recently this morning. Looking at the daily chart for Bitcoin, we are under the 200 moving average, but we are challenging the 21 EMA, the blue line here. That's good to go. Daily MACD is positive and moving up. I like seeing that. I'm glad that it's staying positive. It's definitely been a struggle, but it's staying positive, even with a somewhat sideways and volatile Bitcoin that's happening. I like this. This is something that I saw from Willy Woo. And I'm not saying he's a prophet, but he does have some good insights on things. And he mentioned, this is the RSI right here. I mean, ever since like January, the RSI has been steadily declining. And basically his thing is when we break out of this downwards RSI, when you see a strong break there, that means the whales have let it go. So watch that. Right now, signs are positive. I mean, I like this positive daily MACD. Been a struggle, but we've kept it. Histogram is staying wide open. I like it. Watch this RSI. Some say this is a bullish divergence. I'm not a big fan of the divergences. I know they're real, but I personally just don't really use them much unless they're blatantly obvious, and I'll see them. And after Willy Woo's tweet, and I looked at it, I was like, this is actually a very blatant bullish divergence. The only thing is, yeah, I would say it's a bullish divergence. I mean, I'm not sure if the Bitcoin chart really reflects what you'd need for bullish divergence, but it makes sense. When we break above this RSI downwards trend, the whales will probably let it go. Make ready, be ready. All right, with that said, looking at immediate price action for Bitcoin, we can see recently back here in the third and the fourth, we had a beautiful Bart Simpson pattern. I mean, you can see the absolute perfection of this, and this is something that I think the whales are doing right now as part of the price suppression, because it really, these just jack the market when Bitcoin does this. Yeah, the alts might pump, but then the alts dump, and also Bitcoin pumps, and it goes right back to where it started. So in a sense, I couldn't tell you exactly what the whales are doing to make this happen. As far as, I mean, the whales are making this happen. Are they shorting, longing? I haven't really analyzed the market enough. I don't know if these are money plays for them, or this is just manipulation to keep it low and keep wrecking the alt market. I'm not sure what they're doing, but I would say they're the ones causing these BART patterns, and they do it. But one thing I can say is that it just wrecks the alt market, and if you're a trader, it's wonderful. If you're a white knuckle trader making some extra Bitcoin gains right now, I mean, some of the things I'll do is I'll watch for these 200 moving average crosses on the 45-minute chart, and then once that looks substantial, buy. But then really, you got to be careful, because it's a bar pattern. You know how it's going to play out for the moment. Now, with that said, it appears that we're in another BART pattern. Most likely this will play out and go right back down below the 200 moving average. Overall, this chart that I'm seeing here does not reflect a Bitcoin that is going to continue going sideways or up. We will probably most likely, catch this Bart Simpson pattern. That's the thing. But then again, if you had bought this 10 moving average cross on the 45-minute chart, you'd have made some money. But now that we're sideways and the indicators are cooling off, it's probably time to sell, make a little extra UTC. I'm sorry, USD or USDT or USDC, whatever you're trading. Anyway, right now it's positive. I like seeing Bitcoin where it's at right now. We're above the 200 moving average. And how long have we been there? We've been there for a short time. Let's see. About 10 hours, yeah, especially once we're 10 to 12 hours, if we can stay sideways, that definitely does help the alt market start to rock. And let me see, I'll do a quick look. Let's at ETH USDT here on Binance. Let's look at that. ETH's chart, it's sideways right now. It's kind of following what Bitcoin is doing, but overall you can see it's staying above the 200 moving average. It's a strong chart. Honestly, it's a stronger chart than Bitcoin right now. I myself have been doing some scalping on Ethereum myself. What else? Let's look at Doge versus USDT. How's that doing? Still below the moving average. Doge just does not have any upwards mobility right now. How about SHIB? Sorry, SHUB. SHIB USDT. SHIB is looking good. It's kind of doing what Bitcoin is doing. I like seeing it above the 10 moving average. It's been there for a while. This is like almost 24 hours. It's been above the 10 moving average. Really, I mean, SHIB is actually a nice, strong chart. It's kind of like Ethereum. It's looking pretty good. Let's look at Cardano ADA versus USDT. It's been strong recently. As we can see, come on, render, okay. As you can see, it broke above the 2 moving average back here on the 2nd of July, and it's wicked down to it a few times, but it's been staying there. Indicators are not really strong right now, but in general, I like alts like ETH, SHIB, and ADA right now, Cardano, because they're keeping a much stronger chart than Bitcoin is during this time of volatility. With that said, the video by Mark Moss, I have it linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com. Really, really, really worth a watch if you so desire. And if you do watch it, do me a little favor, say Craig from Radiant Creators sent us. I've actually interviewed Mark Moss before, and I wouldn't mind him being reminded of the show, because maybe I'll get him on again and we'll have a fun talk. Maybe one that's so risque and crazy that it has to only be on BitChute, kind of one of our exclusive Radiant Creators things where it's everywhere except YouTube, because it's just too much truth for the normies. Anyway, as always, it's a good day. Bitcoin's still in that range. Don't get too excited. Don't get too pessimistic. The whales are going to let it go. And when they do, boom, we know big money. We know what it's doing. It's accumulating the crap out of Bitcoin. It's destroying the liquidity in Bitcoin. And when they let it go, be ready when it starts breaking that 41, 42K barrier. Get your Bitcoin if that is your plan. Or if you've already got it, great. If you're going to hedge in more, be ready. I really think as we hit this next pump, one of the things that is going to drive it is a serious liquidity crisis, and I think that is their plan exactly. With that said, play to win. Mark Moss just tells us how in that video. Check it out, watch it. As always, not financial advice, anything on purposes only. Have a really, really good, great day, and remember that every Bitcoin Satoshi you own makes a piece of shit international garbage banker unhuman reptilian thing, especially George Soros. It makes him like kind of drool and fart and blah, blah. It makes him angry. Realize the peaceful revolution is on in sats, and that is our new, really, truly peaceful weapon in this revolution of humanity's great future. So I'm glad you're here. Keep it up, Bitcoin true seekers. Let's make bankers and George Soros cry and have wealth in Bitcoin. Take care.